12h40, quase 3 horas de plantão já.
Why did you heave that thing all the way up here?
Because the basement's creepy as hell, and I don't like standing around down there.
Fair. Alright, let's run through this again. We have a creepy board you found in a creepy basement, made by our creepy janitor, who you think is the creepy whistling man.
Isso aí.
Yep.
And on the creepy board are the names Chuck Brody, Kim Walker, Rebecca Allen, and Aunt Williams.
Isso aí.
Correct.
And you think one of these people will be the whistling man's, Clive's, next target.
Sim. Ah, eu
That's
trouxe pra
right.
cá.
And we've got to find them.
You said there are 4 locations listed there too?
Sim.
The hospital, the power station, the gas station, and the trailer
Isso.
park. Clive must think the target is at one of those locations. Forrest, you're gonna have to figure out if any of the potential targets are at one of these locations tonight. Hit the button if you need any help.
Ok. Oito de março de 69. Pô, tudo aqui tem data, tudo aqui tem data. 87. Trinta e sete, 37. O engenheiro sênior responsável pelo desastre. Tá, 72. 72, tem a roda gigante. Ué. Aqui. Aunt Williams. Então, Aunt Williams. Mas onde que vai ser isso aqui? Ok, ok.
How's it going?
It's not going well. I could use some help.
Okay, let's review the basics. We need to work out who the next target is. There's 4 locations, right? And 4 people. We need to figure out if anyone is at any of the 4 locations tonight. And if they are, we can call them and warn them. There must be some connections between the notes.
That makes sense.
Great. Need any more help?
Sofreu um ferimento. Desastre do festival. Do ano passado. Então isso aqui é antigo, pô. Isso aqui é 73. Tô pronto.
Yes, please.
Sure. I think you should be methodical with this. Try grouping the notes by who they're about. You could also have a look at the dates and make a timeline. Maybe that will help rule out potential targets first.
Got it. Thanks, Peggy.
No problem.
Beleza, vamos juntar as informações. Esse aqui é daqui. Tá, não faz nada. Não fala nada com nada. Nada com nada. Nada com nada. Tá, tô pronto.
How's it going?
I'm ready, Peggy.
Are you sure? We've only got one shot at this.
É, só um segundo, só um segundo. Beleza. Voltamos. Vamos lá,
I'm
vamos lá.
sure. Let's do this.
Okay, name first. Who do you think the target is?
Eu acho que é... Ant Williams.
Aunt Williams.
And where will I find them?
White Ridge. Usina elétrica. Estacionamento de trailers, que é Trailer Park. Onde que vai ser aqui? Quite Ride Health. Não fala onde que vai ser isso aqui, pô. Pô, mano, eu acho que ele vai estar na usina elétrica, né, mano? Que tal?
The power station.
Okay, I'm dialing. One moment. Forrest, I'm through to the power plant, but they say there isn't anyone by that name there.
What? Then who? Jesus!
It sounds like something blew up.
He's using bombs now?
Oh my god. The call board. One moment. Forrest, I'm getting so many calls. Just let me. I'm gonna take us off air for a moment.
Peggy, what's happening in there? Peggy.
I'm back. He blew up the gas station, Forrest.
Okay.
I spoke to the fire department and the hospital. The fire department is useless now, as you know. And, the hospital's only ambulance was at the gas station. Forrest, you've got to say something on the radio. You have to tell the town. I'm putting us back on air. Now.
Gallows Creek. I don't know how to tell you this, but, the gas station's been bombed.
Please, everyone, stay safe, stay inside, and... Oh, just bring us into some music, Forrest?
Careful with this next track, listeners.
Isso vai ser o
It's
estouro.
dynamite.
Forrest!
Foi mal, mal minha, mal minha.
There's gotta be more in the basement to show us who Clive is targeting. And if that's the case, we can get ahead of him. Stop the killings before they can happen. Forrest, we need to go back down.
By we, you mean me, right?
Yep. Like I said, I need to handle all these calls. Maybe start with that creepy mannequin room you mentioned before. I still have a lot of questions about those, by the way.
Me too.
Pô, não entendi por que foi no posto. Esse jogo é muito difícil, mano. Jesus. As coisas que. Quer dizer. Algumas são óbvias. Esse aqui eu fiquei perdidaço. Não tem como ajudar. Eu sou muito burro, né?
A key? Was this always here? I must have missed it when I brought everything upstairs.
Mais nada, umas fotos que não tem nome. Mas... Como que é? Mas não me... Olha que eu tô com vergonha aqui, ó. Pá, passinho do Romano. Nada, nada, nada. Ai, 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 me perdi. Nossa. Deu tontura.
Hey, Forrest!
Peggy, give me some warning before yelling down the intercom?
Sorry. Buzz the intercom when you find something and want to discuss it.
Pô, mas tem ratoeira em todo lugar também. Nada e nada. Um monte de nada. Borracha. Cola. Coloca a bateria debaixo.
Peggy, I've found a tape and a map down here.
A map of what?
Looks like it might be to somewhere in this storage area.
Weird. Well, maybe the tape will give us more information. Give it a play.
Uma fita. Da cassete, tocador de fita. É tipo um negócio aqui, assim, né? Vai estar aqui.
Forrest, you should listen to that first tape you found.
Ah, tá, tem um toca-fita aqui. Tem, só não sei onde. Aqui. Dale.
George Barrow, 1968. That's when this all began for me. Follow the maps, find the tapes. I'll be waiting.
Wait, George Barrow? We all heard that he drowned after a night out drinking. Was it actually Clive? Has Clive really been the whistling man for that long?
He says I need to follow the maps and find the tapes. I guess that's what this map is about.
I think we need to see what else is hidden down here. Be careful, Forrest. Keep looking. Buzz the intercom when you found something.
Ok. Aviso de entrega. Enviado da Starling Security. 67. Deu 4.000. Nossa, os lugares que foram instalados, ó. St. Gabriel Hospital. Ah, então será que esse alarme de segurança é o que assobia? Ela faz o barulhinho da assobia? O Chine Gas foi onde explodiu. Tem o hospital, tem o Patins. Site de apartamentos. Instalação realizada. 10 de setembro. Instalação manual. Estação de rádio QFM. Os caras vão instalar aqui também. Empregado Jamie Marshall. Atkins é o supervisor. Código de acesso de fábrica, introdução. Nosso sistema de segurança de ponta utiliza um código de 6 dígitos. Ok, ok. Ok. Tem mais uma fita aqui. Pra saber como que eu vou levar esse livro lá pra cima. Ele tá muito longo. Vamos por partes. Vou botar isso aqui. A gente vai precisar. A foto aqui também. Tem livro e tem fita.
Time of autopsy is 7 a.m. Cause of death is asphyxiation from drowning. The degree of rigor mortis indicates that the subject has been deceased for 5 hours. That puts the time of death.
Tem algum papel aqui? Show.
Small lacerations to arms, legs, and face, typically obtained by running through foliage. Severe blistering to the feet, as though the deceased had been running without stopping.
Ok.
This looks useful.
Cidade de Gallows Creek. 3768, Xerife Matthews. O xerife morreu, ó. Às 4 da manhã foi recebida uma ligação de uma corredora, Sandra Sharp. George Barrow. Ok.
Preliminary toxicology results shows no signs of inebriation. However, a high amount of cortisol was found, indicating elevated levels of stress in the immediate moments before death.
Ok.
Additionally, there appears to be a post-mortem injury to the arm. It looks like it was trapped in a car door.
This has to be important.
O corpo de um homem branco de 18 anos de idade causou uma chuva com um afogamento que deu sinais de asfixia. Ok. Foram encontrados ferimentos nas juntas das mãos, brigas. Não foram encontrados outros ferimentos. De acordo com o legista, não há sinais de crime. Opa, esse aqui foi o... Então forjaram isso.
It is the coroner's opinion that the subject likely feared for his life and was chased, resulting in a fall from a height into a body of water, where he hit his head, was knocked out, and drowned. Following that, he was moved.
Dr. Sullivan, we need to have a talk. Is that recording? Shut it off.
Armaram pro cara, mano.
If you're listening to this, then I'm probably dead.
What the?
I'm a man who likes to stay informed. I've got subscriptions to newspapers all over the country. A few weeks ago, I noticed headlines cropping up in those papers, one after the other. Each headline about a murder. Each murder, the death of someone I knew almost 20 years ago. And each one drawing closer to Gallows Creek. Drawing closer to the anniversary. None of us are innocent, but I don't think we deserve killing. All I hope now is that I can save some folk from the worst that I can.
Então ele não tava perseguindo, ele tava tentando salvar os caras.
Make up for what I did back then, I guess. I didn't kill anyone, mind you, but that's past mattering. Now, there's more I could say, that I should say, but my employer made it clear that my family would pay a high price if I ever spoke out. So, hopefully I've said enough for you, listener, whoever the hell you are, to start putting the truth together.
Ok. Ok.
What the hell? Peggy is not gonna believe this.
Mary Wayne. Cartwright. Cartwright é a prefeita. Será que vai dar bigode, hein? Vai dar bigode. Eu só quero chegar vivo na minha sala. Opa, opa. Pegue, tamo na
What
lama.
have you found, Forrest?
It's an autopsy tape. Doesn't say for who, but I think it must be for George.
Poor George. He was so young.
Something's bugging me, Peggy.
What do you mean?
I swear I recognize the voice of the woman talking on the tape. I just can't place it.
Seriously? Do you think you've met her before?
I don't know. I mean, I just got here recently. I don't know. Found another tape. It talks more about how George died.
What did it say?
It sounds like he was running for his life. Sprinting through trees and bushes, getting cut up all over.
What would drive someone to do that?
I'm not sure yet. There's also a tape about a toxicology report. There were no signs of drinking or that he was on anything.
What? But everyone said he went swimming drunk and
Pois
drowned.
é, pô,
It
enganaram,
was in the
enganaram.
newspaper and everything.
I found a written autopsy report.
What does it say?
According to that, it's just like you said at the start. George drowned after getting drunk. Said he liked to fight, too.
But that contradicts the tape.
I know. And I think I know why. There's a note with the report that says, "I'm sorry I made you do this, Virginia."
If it was on the autopsy report, then Virginia must be our coroner. Wait, the caller from earlier, when we had to call the takeout restaurants, wasn't her name Virginia?
We need to call her back once we finish down here. It looks like she might know something about what's going on. I found a tape that introduces a new detail to the story. Post-mortem injury. Apparently, his arm got caught in a car door.
A car door?
Yeah, after he died. How do you suppose they can tell?
How can they tell? I'm a radio producer, not a coroner.
The written report I found doesn't mention it at all.
How did his arm get trapped in a car door after he died?
Unless he got it when the police collected his body, I guess someone else must have moved him after he was dead to where he was eventually found.
But the report, what is going on here?
I found a police report. Mentions a friend from earlier, Sandra Sharp.
Sandra. The jazz runner?
That's right. She found George's body washed up at the reservoir.
The reservoir?
Yeah? What's strange about that?
George got cuts from running through foliage, right? But there's no forest around there. Also, how did it wash up at the reservoir?
What do you mean?
Reservoirs don't have tides.
But that's what the police report said.
It's not possible, though. I did a school project on reservoirs and got an A. But, yeah, not important right now. The important thing is that it doesn't make sense.
What are you suggesting then? That the body was originally found somewhere other than what the report suggests? That the sheriff tried to cover it up, but accidentally let something slip?
Something like that. I think.
Well, Sheriff Matthews wrote the report. If he hadn't been eviscerated, we could have asked him.
True. But Sandra is still alive? Once we're done down here, we should give her a call.
In another tape, the coroner comes to the same conclusion as I did. George was running from something.
Maybe an animal?
Maybe, but then there's this next bit
Não faz sentido,
where
pô.
the coroner thinks he was moved post-death.
So she agrees with us.
At the end of the tape, someone burst in and demanded Virginia stop recording. I think it was Clive.
This is starting to make sense now. This is a conspiracy to cover up what happened to George.
I think I found Clive's last recording. I think Clive might be gone.
Gone?
I found a confession. Not for any killings, but for playing a part in covering up George's death. He left this behind in case he died. He hoped someone would find it.
Só um segundo, só um segundo. Vamos voltando, voltando.
Do you think the whistling man already got him?
Possibly. We've had a lot of callers tonight, but maybe not every victim made it to the phone, you know? we don't know how many there really are.
Christ, Forrest, that's dark.
I know, but Clive said he had read about other murders in other towns, and that the murders were all folks who knew
Pô, muito
about the
papinho,
incident.
mano.
And the killings were getting closer to Gallows Creek. He said he wanted to do something good for once.
The board in his office. He wasn't tracking people down to kill them. He was tracking them down to save them.
Exatamente.
Why didn't he just come out with all of this?
He said his employer threatened his family if he spoke out about any of it.
His employer? The one who orchestrated the cover-up? Oh, Clive. I'm sorry for thinking you'd killed all those people.
O dono da
You
rádio?
think you found everything?
I think so.
Forrest, what's going on here?
Someone wanted that boy's death to seem like an accident. And they hired Clive to make it look that way.
Come back upstairs when you're ready. We need to figure out our next step.
Pô, quando você parar de falar, eu vou, pô. 3 da manhã.
Thank God you're back, Forrest. I've been running out of stuff to pad our airtime with.
Peggy, you work in radio.
Forrest, I'm stressed. I mean, really, how are we supposed to keep a show going with all this happening?
This is our job, Peggy. We gotta do it.
You're right. So, what's the plan now?
I think we should call Virginia back.
All right, I'll get her on the line. Time to turn the music off.
Hello again, Gallows Creek. This is Forrest Nash. We're circling closer to the truth behind tonight's events. To this end, we're calling back one of our earlier callers, Virginia Sullivan.
Fredman Plunker here? Who's this? Is it you? Goose?
Não, é
Plunker,
Forrest.
hey, it's the radio man, Forrest Nash.
Radio Man? What's up?
Solving mysteries, saving lives. The huge.
Right on.
Plunker, what are you doing at Virginia's house?
She asked if we could stay to keep an eye out for that whistling turd. So we're hanging out, bro.
Well, that's big of you, Plunker.
No, it's nothing.
Can I speak to Virginia?
Sure thing, Radio Man. I'll just go get her.
Who is this?
Hey, Virginia, it's Forrest. I'm glad you're still okay.
Oh, Forrest.
Vamos ter papinho
Sorry,
aqui então,
I'm still
filhona.
jumpy.
Sorry to hear that, but listen, hey, we need to talk.
Vamos
What
conversar
about?
sobre o
We're
que.
calling because we think you can help us understand why this is happening tonight.
Me? What would I know?
Does the name Clive mean anything to you?
Clive? No. I don't know that name. What are you asking about this for?
You mentioned that name earlier when you called us the first time.
I don't know what I said then. I was petrified, Forrest.
Clive's the janitor at our station, and we know you spoke to him in the past.
Forrest, please. You don't know what you're doing. He'll come for me.
Virginia, it's okay. Clive won't be coming after you.
We think Clive's dead.
Dead? But isn't he? He's the whistling
Ele
man.
não é, pô. Ele tava tentando te ajudar, filha.
We found evidence to the contrary.
But
It's true.
And we found your autopsy reports for George Barrow.
how? I saw him destroy them.
Well, he didn't. I don't know if he kept them or made copies or what, but we found them. And we know it's related to what's happening tonight, which is why we called you. Why did you write a false report?
All right.
Vai. Solta a voz, assim, ó.
I
Na
came
banca.
into work to find a boy on my slab. And as I finished the autopsy, this man, Clive, he just burst in. And he started making demands to give over the reports, to falsify what I found? Of course I said no. But, well, when someone wants to make you do something, they can use the carrot or the stick. For me, he used both. You see, my sister is sick. She has a chronic condition that's never going away. It's
Ok.
expensive to treat, and it was getting to where I couldn't afford it. And Clive promised me that his employer would pay for my sister's treatment if I did what he said, and that if I ever spoke about this, he'd beat me to within an inch of my life. I don't know why he had me do it, but my sister needed me. You have to understand. She needed me.
We understand.
Thank you, Virginia. That was brave.
God, I just want this nightmare to end.
This will help
Okay.
end it, Virginia. Thank you.
Stay safe, Virginia. So, Virginia's tied up in all of this.
Clive threatened her to keep quiet about George's death. But for who? Why cover up these details? Well, we know Sandra was involved in George's death. Do you want to call her?
I do.
Alright, but before we go asking questions, I think we should know what we want to ask. Is that fair?
Yeah, we need to ask her about finding the body. She was the one who discovered it, but something just doesn't add up.
100%. She knows more than she's saying.
I wonder what she's hiding.
We'll hopefully find out soon. Anyway, just be careful when you're talking to her. Don't push too hard. We don't want her to hang up.
I'll be careful.
Alright,
Okay.
calling her now. Hopefully she's at her jazz studio. Aha! Forrest, you're through.
Hello, this is Sandra at Jazz Pizzazz Jazz Studio. Who is this?
Hello again, Sandra! It's Forrest Nash of 189.16, The Scream. And you're live on air.
Oh, I always thought folks called into a radio show, not the other way around. How jazzy. What can I do for you?
Well, we're trying to understand what's behind the attacks tonight. We had a few questions.
Why, Forrest, of course. Heck, after the way you saved my life, I'd say yes to just about anything you asked.
Really? Well, that sounds nice. I might just call you back tomorrow then, too.
You got my number. But what about tonight? Is there anything you want to talk about right now?
Remember why we called, Forrest.
Of course. Do you know why the Whistling Man might have targeted you?
Ha! As far as I could tell, he was just a knife-wielding psycho with superhuman cardio. He'd have chased after anybody.
Right. Well, we think he might be chasing specific people. People who know about the death of a boy named George.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. Sorry.
Sandra, we know you found George's body. We have the police report.
I don't know what you mean.
Don't be a liar, Sandra. It doesn't suit you.
I'm not lying. Oh, look at the time. Jury's late. I have to go. I'll drive home now, or just drive. I'm sorry.
Well,
I might have gone a bit hard on her.
a bit?
All right, let's just move on. Well, folks, if anyone out there has any thoughts on what's going on tonight, please call in.
That's good timing. We've got a call waiting just this second.
Vale.
Welcome to 189.16 The Scream, with me, your host, Forrest Nash.
Hi, Forrest. I know this is really out of the blue. with
Ele lá viu o cara da
everything
pizzaria.
happening tonight. But I wondered if you could send a special birthday message to my uncle.
You know what? I'd welcome a change of pace. I'd be glad to.
Thank you, Forrest. He's my Uncle Ronnie. His first name's Peter, but he never But since he always had salt and pepper hair, even as a kid, can you believe it? Folks always called him Pepper.
Thanks for the history lesson. Is there anything besides happy birthday you would like to say to Mr. Pepper? Oh my god damn it!
Yes! Tell him he can get the best birthday deals and party packages here at Parte's Pizza. Starting at just...
You son of a bitch! Stop calling us!
Sorry, Forrest. Let's just move on. We've already got another caller on the line.
This is 189.16, The Scream. I'm Forrest Nash. You're on the air, caller. Caller. Ponte.
Ponte's Pizza always delivers. Come rain or sleet or whistling man, we'll be there.
Forrest? Forrest? Are you okay? Forrest?
I hope the whistling man gets in with his own pizza slicer.
Jesus, Forrest?
Sorry, that was too much.
It's okay. It's been a high-stress night. Don't worry about him anymore, okay? Not for tonight, anyway.
Ok.
I think he's spent for now. We've got another call, whenever you're ready.
Pô, se for cada pizza de novo.
Folks, don't spend your money at Ponte's Pizza. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Moving along, I'd like to welcome another caller to 189.16 The Scream. With me, Forrest Nash. Who, may I say, is calling?
Well, hello again, Forrest.
Don. Don? We played your song, Long Ride Home. Did you hear it? Can you tell us?
Never mind that now. Forrest, I'm calling because I need your help.
Don, we had a deal. Kept my end. Who is the next target?
Oh, it's too late for that now.
I'll be the judge of that.
Oh, fine. Chuck Brody was the next target, but that ship sailed.
How did you know it was Chuck?
Well, if I tell you, I might just put more people in danger.
People are already in danger. This might help.
Forrest, I don't have time. I need your help.
Do you mean
Yes, he's after me now.
you?
I think so. He must have heard me on the radio helping you.
Right. Okay. Tell us everything.
I was out following a lead, trying to work out who would be next, after Chuck.
And what happened?
And I started to feel like I was being followed. So I came back to my apartment building, but this newfangled security system has me locked out. I need you to help me get inside.
Can you go somewhere else?
Well, home is the safest place I can be. Please, the front gate requires an entry code to open. I need that code to get inside.
Which apartment block do you live in? Maybe one of our listeners lives there too.
It's the New Woodside apartment building between the town hall and the trailer park. But I doubt any of your listeners live there. I don't have many neighbors.
Sounds like a prime piece of real estate.
Sound really carries at night. Shit.
Is that a neighbor's dog?
Yes, it is. Boy, I wish he'd muscle that thing in. Oh. And now he's blasting David Scopo out of his window. Listen, I can't get any. It's like, man. It's coming down the street. I don't think he's seen me yet. Forrest, please. I need your help. I need the code for that security system.
Ok,
or I'm
filha, se
gonna
você
die.
parar de falar, eu consigo ir lá buscar.
What's the name of the security system?
There's a sticker on the box. It says Starling Security 4000. There's a keypad, and it looks like it wants a 6-digit number.
We'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Forrest.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry, Don.
Thank you, Forrest. I knew I could count on you. I'll sit at a of sight. Call me back soon.
Eu ligo sim.
All right, folks. Here's a little tune for you all to enjoy while I try to break Dawn into her apartment. You were pretty quiet there, Peggy.
Forrest, was it just me, or was there something...
Yeah, it wasn't just you. Something was weird about that.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, we have a Starling 4000 or whatever here at KFAM. Clive bought one for the station. Maybe we can find something to help. Well, I'm not sure who, but to help someone.
Ok. Meus queridos, a live vai ser mais curta, então...
Okay, so
de-
she's locked out of the Woodside Apartments, and somewhere, Clive probably has the papers for the Starling 4000.
Então, depois a gente continua... depois, né? Depois amanhã a gente continua, por hoje é só.